Well, good afternoon and welcome back to the channel in quite a rainy Hebden Bridge compared to what we've had for the last few couple of weeks. It's been lovely. I've had to get my winter coat back out. Right, it's going to be a free tea bag so anybody can guess where we are this afternoon. I'll just let it turn around and let you have a look. Yeah, we're at Hebden Bridge Antiques, which was formerly my old place of work, Hebden Bridge Police Station. Trish in the shop at Hebden Bridge Antiques has kindly given us permission to have a wander around, and I'll show you what or how Hebden Bridge Police Station used to look. Right, I first came down here in September '89. I'd done my first 2 years at Sorby Bridge. The inspector asked me if I could do him a favour, and that was to work at Hebden Bridge for 3 months. I came down and I think they forgot about me. I did the rest of my career more or less working from here. Right, we'll get on with the tour and I'll show you how things have changed since I was last here. Now this was the main entrance, with the public entrance really of Hebden Bridge Police Station. It certainly has changed. We did have a serving sort of hatch where the front office staff used to look after people when they were coming in reporting stuff. And we'll go through. It's a lovely shop now, and to tell you the truth, I much prefer it as it is as it was when we worked here. This was the front office. We had the front office person's desk there. They were answering the phone and doing all the inquiries that were coming through and passing them on to us beat lads to investigate and patrol. And I'll just do a bit of a walk around here. Oh, and there's Trish, who's kindly give us permission to come round and have a look. Thanks very much, Trish, for all this. Lovely. Right. Yeah, I'll just show you through here. This was the interview room. We didn't have cells at Hebden Bridge Police Station. I did sort of intimate to some kids that we did, just for dramatic effect really. There weren't any cells. We didn't sort of lock anybody up. A lot of the interviews we did were by appointment, so there were nobody locked up overnight or anything like that, despite what some of the locals thought we did. We didn't. If we did need to lock anybody up on a longer basis, we'd take them either down to Todmorden Police Station, which did have cells, or all the way to Halifax, which is 10 miles away, to the main police station at Richmond Close. Right, yeah, this is where we did the interviewing, the fingerprints, photographs, and a lot of the antecedents and questioning of suspects and witnesses. Right, we'll move along and we'll go through this corridor. I'll just show you this. This is the corridor that leads out to the back door where we kept the police Land Rover and the Ford Escort, and later the Vauxhall Astra police vehicles. That's out. That was the officers' entrance and exit. We hardly used the front door. That was locked out of hours. Right, we'll move through. This has really changed since my day, sort of thing. As you step through here, there were a doorway leading to which was the sergeant's office, and that's where he sort of hung out doing all his supervising. And then with the next one, we had a CS gas locker with our radios and police support unit kit in there, riot kit, and that's where that was stored. Moving on, and this was the canteen where we had our meals and lots of funny stuff that was relating to each other. There were a bit of a card school going as well at lunch times, and we'd had one or two complaints that the noise from inside the police station was a bit excessive. They thought that there were prisoners being beaten up, but it were people shouting and bawling about being dealt a bad hand at cards. In here was the kitchen. We had a cooker and we had a microwave and a fridge, and that's the view from outside, from inside to out the backyard there. This was there's a little doorway there, and that leads into a storeroom where the station cleaner used to have her stuff. A lovely lady called Pat, and before Pat, it was a mum, Peggy, who looked after us that way. It did become known as Pat's back hole, because that's I'm sorry. That's where she kept all her vacuum cleaners and cleaning equipment. She was a great lass, and we had hours of fun, cracking jokes with each other. Really, they were the best of times, really, thinking back. Right, we'll lead through, and as you can see, it's a fantastic antique shop. Every time we come in, there's always something there that I think, oh, blimey, I could. That'd be fantastic. And there's all sorts. It's like stepping through your childhood. There's toys and stuff that we used to play with when we were kids. There's sort of everyday items that we had in the 50s, 60s and 70s. Little tea chests and things that you've probably even forgotten about. But if you're ever looking for that sort of stuff, just head on down to Hebden Bridge Antiques. I'm sure Trish can help you out and find whatever you're looking for. Right, we'll have a look upstairs. The public didn't have access up here at all. It was solely down to police officers. And I'll explain what we've got up here, or what we had up here. Right, coming up to the top floor. That's the view that we had. We used to keep an eye on the kids hanging around the bus stop on nights or on evenings. Moving in here, this was the report writing room, where we had our clerical trays and correspondence papers, where we did our reports and basically pretended to work. It was a good little ideal, really, because when we were up here and anybody came to call, like the inspector or the sergeant, there was a bit of an early warning system, because we could hear the security keypad being punched and the door unlocking, and then the footsteps coming in. So when we heard that, we'd start rattling about with the metal clerical trays and pretend to be talking on the phone as though we were rushed off his feet. So that's the report writing room. When we were here, of course the windows were blacked out, or there was just like a silver sheeting put up so nobody can look in. We could look out, but they could not see us if we were in here working. Right, moving on. This area now I'm moving into, this has been altered as well. Like I say, it looks, to me, it looks a lot better than it ever did. That window there and that part that's from there, that was partitioned off, and that was the ladies' toilets. If females did ever come down, we didn't really get any down here, female officers, until later on. I think the reason behind that was they didn't want WPCs working alone, which sometimes you did. You ended up single crewed, working from Hebden Bridge. The radios weren't too good, so really you're sort of left to fend for yourself at some stage, which we thought were a bit dangerous for lady officers. Things have changed now. Whether that's for the better, I'm not too sure. Where the DVDs and CDs are, that was a big cupboard, and this was the inspector's office when we had a local inspector, and he sort of stayed there when he worked there. Right, and going a bit further on, we're coming into another room, and this was the locker room, the officer's locker room. At the far wall there were a massive sliding cupboard where we kept all our excuse me, where we kept all our uniforms. We had like cold weather gear, big bright orange fur-lined jackets and over trousers, and massive pairs of wellies. I think there were just two sizes, size 9 and size 12s. So you just had to make do with that. Then we had the metal lockers for his own personal kit. And as with the window next door, these you could not see in, but we did used to keep an eye on any sort of goings on outside. Kids waiting for the buses. I think it goes up to Old Town and Dodney, so we used to surprise them sometimes, be knocking on the windows and telling them to behave. Well, and yeah, moving on. Yeah, like I say, if you do come down here, please come in and have a good look around, because the stuff here that it's amazing. It's amazing. And walking around here today, it's a bit like coming back to an old house that you've not lived in for, it's like 12 and a half years for me. I spent quite a lot of time down here working. Enjoyed every minute of it. I worked with a good partner. We do meet up now and again and exchange stories of our past. Right, yeah. So I'll go back downstairs and we'll have a look outside, and I'll show you how things were set up outside. I can remember running down these stairs a few times, answering calls and being called out to jobs. It certainly brings back memories. Certainly does. I think it's good really to step back into your past and have a look. It brings back some good memories. Of course, there were some bad times. There were some jobs that we did deal with that stuck with us forever, and I think of one or two that, I don't know, you just sort of had to crack on and deal with it. There were no sort of nobody to talk to apart from whoever you were working with. So that's how we dealt with things. Whether that's I don't think that's the modern way, but that's how we dealt with it. We had to just sort of crack on and work your way around it as best you could. Some of it sticks, and you probably never get over half the stuff that you dealt with in job, but that's how it goes. Right, I'll take you back outside into the cold, and well, not so cold, but into the wet, and I'll show you what the setup was outside with the vehicles. I'll just say ta-ra to Trish, and thanks very much, Trish.
Anytime.
Yep, lovely. Take care. Keep smiling, love. Right, we're back outside into oh, it's dried up a bit now, so yeah, I'll say I were quite lucky, really. I don't think I was meant to stop here as long as that, but I'll say I came here in 1989, and I ended up being community bobby down at Todd, but my heart was still here at Hebden Bridge. Right, and this is the backyard of the old police station. As you can see, the police parking signs are still there. They're a bit faded, but I suppose some memories are a bit faded as well. So that's the backyard that we saw. That's the kitchen. The larger window there, that's the old canteen where we used to have a little television in there. It must be the smallest television in the world. But the stuff that we saw all those years, like there were news reports of Nelson Mandela being released, Princess Diana dying, and Maggie Thatcher being unceremoniously voted out of her job. There were all sorts, and we sort of watched it all on a little on a little telly in Hebden Bridge, Nick. Sunday nights when it were quiet, we used to get round doing our inquiries and then come back in, and they always seemed to be one of these Indian films on that lasts forever. I think the last 4 or 5 hours, and we'd set off watching that, and there'd be a birth, a wedding, a death, a police chase. There were just everything in those films, and you could go out, deal with a job, come back, and the film was still playing, and you could sort of put your own ending to it. That's the back door. You can just see there's like 3 little holes in the wall there. Now that's where the security device was, and the plaque for the back door. And yeah, brilliant. So that's about it, really. The parking space, I'll just show you this one. I think that was for the Beat car, and that was for my favourite vehicle, which was the 90 Land Rover Defender. We had to give it a wider turning arch there just to fit it in the yard, but happy memories of driving that around Hebden Bridge. Even more so when we could keep it right way up instead of dropping it down the bloody ravine in the middle of Hebden Bridge. So yeah, a bit of a job that was. Right, I'll get back to you. I hope you've enjoyed the little tour around my old place of work. There's plenty of ghosts in there, only good ones, happy memories. And before I go, I knew I'd forgotten something. I came on duty one evening for, I think we started at 6 and finished at 2 in the morning, and I came on about 20 to 6, and first one on, there were an unwritten rule, so the first one in puts the kettle on. So I came in straight to the kitchen, clicked the kettle on, got the brews ready for me and my mate, went back into the front office to see what messages we had, and then I heard like footsteps upstairs, and I thought, well, that's a bit odd. I thought I was the first one in, and I thought, well, if my mate's here, I'm sure he'd have put the kettle on. Footsteps walking around upstairs, and they're going through doors and things, and thought no else of it. I thought, bloody hell, my mate's a bit quiet, look, he's all right. And the next thing, I heard the back door go, and my mate walked in. I said, well, who's upstairs? He said, well, I don't know, they just come through the door. So we sort of went, had a look upstairs, and there were nobody. And I said, well, I've just heard somebody upstairs. What the hell's that all about? He said, well, there's nobody here. So we had a good look round, and basically I just said, well, I definitely heard somebody. There was definitely somebody upstairs, because I heard the footsteps, and we did a search of everywhere, looked through the wardrobes in case somebody were messing about, but there was nobody there. And basically that was the day that we discovered there were a ghost. I wrote it off as the old Victorian inspector who in those days he lived above the shop at Hebden, Nick. So we just said, oh, if we heard anything again, we just said, oh, it's the old inspector that's come back to keep an eye on us. So that's what we did there. That was that was one thing that sort of stuck as well. So yeah. Hope you've enjoyed the tour around the old Hebden Bridge police station. And if you have enjoyed it, just give us the old thumbs up, subscribe, and if you've got a spare minute, just give us a comment, tell us what you think. And if you enjoy them, that's fine, that's a bonus. All right then, I'll see you soon, take care, and look after yourself. Cheers, bye bye.